If you go down to the woods today at the back of Alton Towers, look Secret Weapon 6. On the site of the classic corkscrew sits a roller coaster billed as the scariest roller coaster ever created, with a world's first element that was said would require a waiver of liability to even ride. A brand new form of attraction called a psychoaster. Alton Towers marketing though had advertised a ride that didn't exist. This is the story of Th13teen on Expedition Alton Towers.
If you go down to the woods.
Well, that ride was a bit timid. At least it's time now to get off. Apparently, little jolt there. Okay, let's get up. Ah! Oh! Oh! Ah!
About a year ago, we actually created a mission statement at Alton Towers, and it reads, "Why we are here is to create magic for everyone. So first of all, for our guests. We will create magic for all our guests by exciting and entertaining them with an experience which is unique and totally themed."
There will be 8 years between Secret Weapon 5, Air, and Secret Weapon 6. After 2004, the Alton Towers Resort was trying to move away from the magic branding of its past. That is not to say no roller coasters were added during this time though. While Spinball Whizzer was a rather small addition, Rita, Queen of Speed was added to Ugland in 2005. Costing £8 million, it was not too much cheaper than the previous Secret Weapons, but it did not feature the codename. While many say this is down to them not offering the complete package experience of the well-themed Secret Weapon rides, others thought it would be the end of the Secret Weapon codename completely. In 2007, when Two Swords were bought by Merlin Entertainment, a lot of the removed aspects of the park's identity returned, including the use of In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Stay for days, when you escape to Alton Towers Resort.
The following year, in October 2008, it was announced that the corkscrew roller coaster, an icon of Alton Towers, would be removed from Ugland, and replacing it under development would be a new attraction.
The ride has reached the end, really, of its natural shelf life. We want to do something dramatic in this space in a couple of years, and unfortunately, when we've looked at all our plans and what we want to put here, it's meant that the corkscrew's time has come to an end.
Planning permission for this new ride was approved in March 2009, after a short delay due to 39 letters of objection, as always. The new ride was expected to cost £12 million and attract an extra 100,000 visitors to the park. While the plans were easily found and posted online, what was going to happen within the enclosed section of the ride drew huge speculation. Was it a backwards loop, or more widely speculated, a backwards launch? Construction began throughout summer 2009 and the world's first element was confirmed. Further information releases stated that you could ride the Demon of the Dark Forest, prompting rumours that Ugland could be rethemed, where you would ride into the unknown. The ride would be manufactured by Intamin, who also created Rita, Queen of Speed Next Door, and would be the first Secret Weapon not created by B&M.
I said to Intamin, that has got to work quickly, because the idea of going backwards, I don't know if it was first time, it was probably the first one was Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom. And the thing that really disappointed me with Expedition Everest is you come racing up to that dead end, the track is broken ahead of you, and in theory you should immediately, without a pause, roll backwards. But you don't. You're held on a set of brakes for what seems like an interminable amount of time whilst this gigantic switch track further back behind you lumbers into position. It turns out that that switch track cost more, the switch track alone on Expedition Everest cost more than the entire budget of Th13teen.
The track arrived in September 2009 and it fully confirmed it was going to be a family coaster, with it being written on the side of the crates. In December, the ride was revealed as Th13teen, which carries connotations of bad luck.
If you go down to the woods today, you'd better not go alone.
The coaster and theming ended up costing £15 million and was announced to open on March 20th, 2010. The story was based around the discovery of an unearthed ancient burial site in the area of unexplored woodland known as the Dark Forest. Visitors were invited to take a petrifying ride entering into the living and breathing Dark Forest to face an unknown horror that has been unleashed from this ancient crypt. The expected family coaster was being marketed though as a terror thrill ride, or Psy-Coaster as they put it. A collaboration of the world's leading coaster consultants who had combined the ultimate elements of physical and psychological fear. Marketing said the element that makes the ride a world's first will potentially make the ride so frightening that the resort is considering introducing an age rating to ride. Groundbreaking technology that has never been seen before and will open up a whole new concept for theme park rides.
This is the world's first Freefall Drop Rollercoaster. It's every single ride you've ever dreamt about, all rolled up into one. We've worked really hard to keep the secret for 2 years now, actually.
Th13teen would be the first ride to play on emotional fear and something coaster fans would not be prepared for. Seriously, when Alton Towers wants to hype something up, they sure know how to do it, even if it's not warranted.
The idea of a whole chunk of track dropping under freefall seemed possible. But if it was going to be done, it had to be done in darkness, surrounded by special effects to really capitalise on every single bit of the thrill that we could get.
The ride itself took 2 years to design and was tested in Europe before being shipped to the UK. Taking 9 months to build, the team working around the clock were ready to take you inside the unearthed crypt. John Wardley said that the initial idea for the secret element came from a previous roller coaster plan that he had designed for Alton Towers, where a piece of track tilted back and forth during the ride. That plan never came to fruition, but the idea of a moving track was kept. During the 2009 Scarefest event, hooded wraiths were seen roaming around the Ugland area with warning signs up linking them to the next year's new attraction. Teaser videos were released before the full commercial right before the ride opened. The advert had a pre-9 PM version and an after 9 PM version, which was deemed too scary to be shown on TV during the day.
If you go down to the woods today, you'd better not go alone.
A variety of publicity stunts also happened in true Alton Towers fashion. After the information about a possible age restriction of only 16 to 55-year-olds being able to ride, it was also widely covered that a waiver of liability would have to be signed to even ride the attraction. This obviously was just a marketing ploy and didn't actually happen.
Oh God, okay, oh no. We haven't even started yet. That's quite high. That's quite high.
About 60 feet?
That's 60 feet. That's high. It feels high.
Not too high.
It feels really high. It feels high to me.
Not even at the top yet.
Oh, and oh dear.
After the ride opened, these stunts continued, with Alton Towers announcing the ride would be closed on Friday the 13th, 2010 because of superstitious reasons. It was later announced that instead of closing the ride, it would be renamed Th13teen for the day, including limited edition merchandise.
Stunning, absolutely stunning. We thought it was going to do something secret, that what goes on in that dark. I don't know if you want me to say or not, but that was fantastic.
The marketing efforts for the ride though worked extremely well. Too well in fact that it led many to be disappointed with the actual ride experience. With a few aspects of theming throughout the queue line, the station area steps it up with an eerie beginning to the ride. Heading up the 60-foot lift hill, the trains reach speeds of 41 miles per hour with airtime hills along the way before the second lift hill enters into the dark crypt where the surprise element takes place. Inside, lighting and air blasters along with creaking wood sound effects go off before the room is plunged into darkness. The track drops a few centimeters and pauses before free falling 5 meters. A wraith figure is lit up in front of the train and it's propelled backwards out of the crypt before a backwards helix in a tunnel before heading back to the station where the ride ends.
Now comes the surprise.
No, what's it gonna do? I don't want
You're
it to
about
do
to
anything
find
bad.
out.
I don't want it to do anything bad. Oh my God! Oh my God! No! And now it's going backwards!
The ride is the world's first free fall drop roller coaster. While it was mostly kept under wraps, shortly before opening it was spoiled by being shown on national TV. Media coverage of the ride was huge and found all across the UK. The ultimate roller coaster, as Alton Towers dubbed it. When the ride opened on March 20th, 2010, Ugland was no more. Instead, the area was rethemed as the Dark Forest, a supernatural woodland complete with eerie soundtrack. Rita was rethemed and the Queen of Speed title was dropped. That though is for another expedition.
Hi, I'm Alex Reed, an ultimate fighter, and I'm here at Alton Towers Resort on the ultimate roller coaster, Th13teen.
The reception on opening was mostly mixed to negative. Not because it was a bad ride though in any form. For fans looking finally for the next secret weapon and the scariest roller coaster in the world, it was miles away from the expectations the park had built up. The visual theming in the area of the new attraction was the standout, offering a perfectly eerie atmosphere. It was the perfect middle ground attraction between the Mine Train and rides such as Nemesis or Oblivion. It was a shame all of the hype and build up led to a ride that just did not fit with what the park had advertised. Th13teen was a marketing disaster, or was it? They promised the most intense and scariest experience ever created. What we got was a family coaster that, despite all the mixed reviews, managed to increase attendance at the park to its highest on record since 1994 with the opening of Nemesis and Toyland tours. Th13teen offers a smooth and really enjoyable experience. Over time, the mistakes from how it was marketed have been forgotten, and it now sits at the back of the park as a fun attraction that slots well into the park's coaster lineup. Further Freefall Drop coasters would open around the world in the following years, with the longer the Bolton or the interactive Wonder Mountains Guardian, but if you do go down to the woods today at Alton Towers, you can ride the world's first. Just don't expect too much. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Expedition Alton Towers. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the expedition. What do you think of Th13teen? Let me know in the comments below. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates on upcoming expeditions, and we will see you next time.